Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast which we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute segments and then examine it in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. And Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Do you know, I love architecture, but there is a type of architecture that I have been a long-time fan of that I did not know had its own name, and that is novelty architecture.
Oh, I didn't know this existed, but now I'm a huge fan of it.
It is a type of architecture in which buildings and other structures are given unusual shapes for purposes such as advertising or to copy other famous buildings without any intention of being authentic. Their size and novelty means that they often serve as landmarks. Now, most people would know I would call the novelty architecture capital of the world, Las Vegas. That you knew where I was going, right? Now, if you said, what's the second biggest one? I don't know if people would know this, but from what I've read and seen, and I haven't been there yet, but I would actually say Gatlinburg, Tennessee has become the second biggest capital because they have a stretch of land that is nothing but outrageous building after outrageous building. And I think there is one building there in particular. It is the Museum of Titanic Artifacts. And the building is in the shape of the Titanic, which is crazy. So it's very cool. Now, and people have been to Las Vegas, or you've been to other places that see this.
For those fans of the Midwest, I would say the Wisconsin Dells.
You knew where I was going with this. So there's obviously the kitsch factor. And by kitsch, I mean the corniness, whatever. The ironic factor of this. Your mileage will vary on this. And probably one of the biggest pieces of novelty architecture that I have ever visited personally is the famous Brooks catsup bottle, which has been trademarked the world's largest catsup bottle, which is a water tower in Collinsville, Illinois. It is claimed to be the largest catsup. I'm saying catsup because it's not ketchup. This is ridiculous. Catsup bottle in the world.
Is this a GIF controversy of catsup and ketchup?
No, well, I don't. I'm sure it hasn't, but no, this is actually catsup. This is what this is called.
Okay.
Go on. It's a prime example of mid-20th century novelty architecture. It is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. When we went to see it, we took a road trip many years ago, and we stopped off at some of these ridiculous things in the middle part of the United States. And when we went and saw this, it was cool. It really wasn't cool at all. And what I really hoped was that there would be a big French fry stand like somewhere in the vicinity of it, because that would make sense. Yeah. Any of you from Collinsville, Illinois, you should put a ketchup stand next to the world's largest ketchup bottle. I'm sorry, I digress. What does this all have to do with what we're going to talk about? It's a primary part of this minute.
That's right. Because very rarely do you hear anyone talk about both Tommy Bartlett's Robot World and Iron Man 2 from 2010, directed by Jon Favreau. But here we are. So we're at minute 62, and we are picking up right where we left off, which is War Machine has touched down at Edwards Air Force Base, and he is shiny, and all the soldiers then run around and closing it. And my first thing would have been, if I was in Rhodey's shoes, was don't touch it. It's really hot. Because we're in Arizona. Anything that's shiny and metal, you don't want to touch.
Well, and let's look at, you just came in at a high rate of speed. It's the desert in California. The sun is shining. Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have heat distortion all around him. Just like you can be frying eggs on the side of that suit. So we have him staying there, and so Major Allen comes walking up around surrounded by soldiers. And like I said, there in the credits, there is no listing for soldier like there is in Incredible Hulk. So as far as I can tell, these are actual real working soldiers who got a really prime gig that day. They got to run around on a movie set and make sure that nobody tried to climb on the B-2 bomber. And then, get to like stand and look in awe at, Don Cheadle in half an Iron Man suit. I doubt that he was wearing the full thing, but also interesting to see the height, because usually you don't see Iron Man standing with people. So as you can see, Don Cheadle is a regular height person. He's not an extremely tall person, but he's not an extremely short person. He would say right in the middle there. But here he's head and shoulders above almost everybody around him. And Major Allen, when he walks out, has to look up in order to talk to him.
Oh, he's coming up. Allen is coming up right to about the bridge of his nose. So, I mean, he's a good like 10 inches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Almost a foot, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, it adds quite a bit all along the way.
Well, those thrusters in the shoe soles have got to do something.
Question is, are they raked? Like, it technically is Iron Man wearing heels?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't.
Or platforms.
That's platforms.
I don't know.
It's like platforms.
These are Stark Doc Martens. Like they got the big.
Oh my god!
Somewhere there's a digital bouncing sole.
Stark Martin. Boy. Hey, just one thing to add is as we cut into this close-up shot, like you just said, and Don Cheadle's probably just wearing half a suit. You know, he's up wearing the upper part of it. You know, okay, so we talked about in the last minute where we said, oh, look at the CGI of the full suit, and it looks a tiny bit wonky.
Yeah.
But when they go into the close shot and that's all a practical suit, maybe that is it. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Maybe that is a matching effect. I mean, he looks really bright. I think it all has to do with the way the light is reflected.
Yeah.
We haven't seen this suit in this movie. We've only seen it in the Hall of Armor, which it's very dimly lit. It's in the shadows. And yeah, this looks pretty realistic, especially when you see the practical nature of it when he's standing there. So kudos to everybody.
Yeah, nice. I got the impression that the original Mark II suit, which we're assuming this is, was more Bondo, like was more, matted.
Oh,
because like even in this one, even though it looks reflective, it's not reflecting anything. Like we're not seeing, if it was like a mirror suit, we would be seeing the sky and clouds and all the other soldiers reflected in it, but we're really not. It's just sort of shiny metal.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, it's not to a mirror finish. It's more to a buff finish. Right.
Yeah. So Major Allen walks up and says, Colonel, and Rhodey says, Major, which tells us that Rhodey outranks him. So currently on this field, Rhodey is the commanding officer. Like he is the highest ranking person there. Now, obviously not in the entire Air Force, but for what they're doing right now, yeah, he outranks him. So Major Allen says, what we're all thinking right now, which is, wow. Right. Yeah. Like, you really got it. Like, I can't believe it. Like,
this is happening.
There's a lot in that one word. And Ray looks around, sort of like surrounded by all these people and goes, yeah, let's take it inside.
Right.
Major Allen says, clear the area. So then we have them sort of like all the soldiers sort of hang path as Rhodey then takes it into the hangar. And then as he does, the music swells and we fade out.
Yeah. And we fade to black. Yeah. Like, I mean, you don't usually see this, certainly in these movies. This is a fade to black because it's designed to then pop us out as we hard cut to the next scene.
So I guess is that a end? I mean, it feels like the end of an act there, but it feels like if that was act one, that was a really long act.
That's a really long act, right? No, yeah. I think it's just to basically show that, hey, a different story now is going to grow from what's just happened.
Yeah.
And they're trying to give you the visceral pop of what you're about to see next.
Yeah, exactly. Because needle drop, we hear music start playing, and it's the Beastie Boys. And yet Captain Kirk is nowhere to be seen.
Oh.
So this is actually Groove Holmes by the Beastie Boys. It's from their 1992 album, Check Your Head. And if you want to know more about the Beastie Boys, you should check out Beastie Boys Story, which is a new documentary from the two surviving Beastie Boys that Apple TV put out, associated with Apple Music. But I think if you can get your free Apple TV Plus trial, you can check it out. It's the guys telling the story in their own words and music, and so they actually go deep into each album and how they put it together and stuff too. It's directed by Spike Jonze, so it is highly entertaining too. So it's not just a lot of talking heads. It's a recording of a show they put on that they traveled around to do this. So this is like in New York in front of an audience, them telling this story, including all the times they mess up their own story and their technical problems and everything else. They kept all that stuff in because that's kind of the Beastie Boys style. But it's really worth checking out. And obviously Jon Favreau is a big fan, so that's why we have it here. And we cut to another iconic shot from this movie. I say if you did your top 5 shots from Iron Man 2, this would be on him. And it's Tony Stark eating a donut. Inside of a donut. Because as the camera pulls back, we see that Tony Stark in full Iron Man armor and wearing his Ray-Bans, I think. I couldn't get that close enough to see. He's sitting in the giant logo of Randy's Donuts eating a donut. from Randy's Donuts, because that's the way Tony Stark rolls. He wouldn't go to Dunkin' Donuts and bring them over at Randy's Donuts. I mean, come on. But everybody has their hangover food, and I guess Tony's is Randy's Donuts. This is, of course, Randy's Donuts is an iconic thing. And like Rob was talking about with the what was the type of art?
Novelty architecture.
Novelty architecture, yes. If you drive through LA, you can't miss it. It's at 805 West Manchester Boulevard in Inglewood, California. Inglewood, I've heard, is always up to no good. It has 4 stars on Yelp with over 2,000 reviews. So pretty good average, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So as we pan back, then we see him, just lounging and enjoying his donuts, thinking about like, man, that party was off the chain. And so as we play, he sees somebody's looking at him. It is a bald black man, and my God, it's Nick Fury.
Okay, wait, can I just tell you, this is one of the greatest. We've talked about, okay, and I think this is a bookend to something.
Yes.
We talked about in a previous minute when he's just finished the fight with Rhodey.
Yep.
And we have that amazing zoom that pushes in from outside the place down right to Tony's face. Mm-hmm. You realize that this is the opposite of that.
Oh yeah, true. Because we're seeing him farther, and it pulls back and pulls back and pulls back, and then you reveal someone standing there. That's nice camera work right there.
No, this camera work is amazing because we are right on top of Tony. Beautiful lighting. He's eating the donut. It's pulling back, and we realize, wait, where is he? Oh yeah, he's in a donut. Oh my God, he's in Randy's Donuts, and it keeps pulling back until Nick enters into the shot from the left. This is a gorgeous camera movement. And it is the bookend to the shot of Tony defeated in his kitchen, basically, for lack of a better area of kitchen fireplace. But I mean, just wonderful work here. This is absolutely, I mean, you're right. I mean, not only iconic for this movie, iconic for the MCU. I mean, it's just an unbelievably gorgeous shot, and how they pulled this off. Wonderful. Fantastic.
Yeah, so big shout out to Matthew Libatique, the DOP for Iron Man 2, because he really pulled off a great shot here. I mean, the lighting is great. Yes. And also shout out to Hughes Espany, who is the focus puller, who had to keep everybody like nice, crisp, and so they're only blurring as it goes on.
Well, and I got to and that's an amazing way. And really, kudos to that, because one of the things that this shot makes that hard is, yes, you could digitally mess around with it, I'm sure. Too. But once you enter in the logo of the Randy's Donuts, it stays razor sharp the entire rest of the pool. Like, yeah, man, just kudos to this. This is just incredible. Yeah. Incredible work on their part. And
so then we reveal, obviously, that this is Mr. Samuel L. Jackson. He has 197. Man, Sam, stop working. Okay. For this moment right now, he has 198 credits on IMDb. Whew.
Wow.
Man, that's like, so by the time you hear this, I'm sure that number will be wildly inaccurate, but it's still there.
None of those include what's in your wallet, right?
Right. Does not include any commercials at all, or it does include voiceover. So like Afro Samurai technically is on that list, but none of the commercials, and that includes every cameo as well. So interestingly, in his career, which we all know and love, because Samuel Jackson is, I think, the most bankable actor in Hollywood, because he has been in more $100 million grossing movies than anyone in history. He actually, what would you say that it was his breakout role, where he like went from like that guy who's pretty good to like Sam Jackson?
Oh boy, see, now I'm going to tell you this. Now, I don't have a good answer for this, because, to be honest,
from
Coming to America. Like, I just know from his role, because I think that's one of his first movie roles, is Coming to America.
I don't think he even has I think he doesn't have a name in that.
Oh no, he's just the guy who tries to hold up the McDowell's.
Hold up, man. Story. I think it's just the what he's credited as.
I know. Which, by the way, little sidetrack. Okay, of course we're mentioning the very famous Eddie Murphy Arsenio Hall comedy Coming to America.
By the time you hear this, you're probably enjoying the sequel.
I was going to say, you're definitely hearing this like after it's come out.
Not seen it.
I really kind of hope that Sam Jackson, let's go on a limb here. I hope he has a cameo in it.
That would be great. That would be really
amazing.
Great. I hope Eric LaSalle is in it as well. I mean, there's
yes. all of that. So no, like, yeah, no, I mean, I think of Coming to America, but I mean, that's his first role. But now when you just think of Sam Jackson, that's what I think of. What do you think is his turning point? Like, what's his?
I would say for me, it would be Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
because he did a lot of great stuff with Spike Lee.
Right.
But I mean, and as people look back, they went, "Oh yeah, he was that one." But I don't think he was a name until that. And that was in 94. And so when he did Pulp Fiction, he was 46 years old.
What?
Yeah. Like he was a grown man, like barely making it in Hollywood. And when Quentin Tarantino went, I want that guy.
Hold on. I just want to say a couple things. For all of us who might be listening to this, they're in their late 40s.
Yep.
I just want to say that is incredibly hopeful and amazing and therapeutic to know that you could be in your late 40s and your career might only just be hitting its stride.
Yeah. Yeah. So for all the Sir Laurence Olivier who won an Oscar at age 18.
Yeah. Whatever.
There are a lot of people out there like Alan Rickman, who did not get his first movie role until well into his 40s. So it's not too late.
That's right. You Matt Damon's and Ben Affleck's out of there. Suck it. Whatever.
Yeah, right. You can keep your Miley Cyrus's.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sure.
Young saying from.
I'm just kidding. Oh, it's just made me feel so happy now.
I know, right?
All right. Yeah.
And look what he's done over the course of they would say in the latter half of his life, it turns out to be the prime of his life.
Oh my God, completely. Are you kidding? Oh, geez.
Yeah, it can get better. And the thing is, he's one of those guys that show up on screen, you're like, oh yeah. Like know you're gonna get something amazing. Just like, he's in the few caliber actors that like he's great, even if the movie isn't.
Yes.
And 198 credits, there are going to be some clunkers in there, but he always gives a solid performance. I mean, Snakes on a Plane might not be well regarded, but we all remember it. And
let's not forget
he was in on the joke.
And let's not forget Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
Or Deep Blue Sea, Deep Blue
Yes.
6, Deep Blue Sea. There's too much information. Anyway,
so this is his second appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he skipped over Incredible Hulk, sadly. I know that we could use a little more Sam Jackson. But this is actually the start of his record-setting, unprecedented 9-picture deal. So after his cameo appearance at the end of Iron Man 1 in the post-credit scene, which, again, was unheard of at the time, Marvel signed him for 9 appearances. And that also was record-setting, too. Not only the fact that no actor had ever signed for that many movies before, also for multiple movies. So it wasn't like you agreed to be in Star Wars 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, no. He appeared to be 9 appearances as Nick Fury. Then they did not specify where those appearances were going to be. Now they're like, yeah, okay, that's what happens. Like you agree to be you sign up to be, now you're Robin. Okay, so Robin, you're going to be showing up in X, Y, and Z. But he was the first one that got this deal, and that has really changed how these things work, because it wasn't about he signed on to be in movies that hadn't been imagined yet. That's pretty amazing, and a really sweet deal for him. So, of what I understand, it was a very nice paycheck.
Okay, as you were just saying this, and I was blown away by this, I thought to myself, well, where does that rate on the most appearances by the same actor playing the same character?
Yeah.
And I thought that would be high up there. It's not.
It's not. Oh, I would have to say that probably Munch is probably in the high thing, because he has gone and done that role in multiple things.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
there's rank as Lieutenant Munch.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, right. But but like if you just go with movies, there's ones in here I didn't even think about. Like, okay, the top of the list of this particular list, Desmond Llewellyn as Q 17 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, they even tried to pass it along to John Cleese.
But yeah, I mean, he has played the same character.
Oh, grow up, 007.
Yeah, I mean, or you want to go crazy, like, even Lois Maxwell as Miss Moneypenny 14 times.
Oh wow.
You forget about all
that's
those.
true. Yeah, I do forget about that because I always think of them changing everybody, but they didn't. They would really just change Bond,
right?
And they would keep everybody else the same.
No, I was okay. Now the more I think about it, I'm like, okay, yeah, then that's true. Or even go like Johnny Weissmuller as Jungle Jim 16 times.
Oh, wow.
So
not Tarzan?
It's the same guy who played Tarzan, but Jungle Jim was a different. Was it
character. Before or after?
Yeah, I think it was before. Isn't that ridiculous?
Well, you've paid your dues paying Jungle Jim. I mean, now you get to do the real job of being Tarzan.
Or like Mickey Rooney. So from 39, he played this one character, Andy Hardy, 16 times.
Huh.
So who knew? I mean,
that was back when you could do like 5 or 6 of those in a year.
Exactly. I mean,
the studio system.
It was a totally different thing. So wow. Yeah. I mean, wow, you learn something new every day. All right.
Yeah. So we go from them sitting outside, and then Fury sort of basically. So he says, "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to exit the donut," which is a great line. And then sort of gestures inside. They go in, and they go, and Rob, they're not inside of Randy's Donuts.
Kind of thought that
because Randy's Donuts, that one doesn't have an interior. It is a drive-up only restaurant. There is no interior. So they, in the commentary, he does not reveal where this is, but it reveals it is a completely different location that they redressed as if it was the interior of Randy's Donuts. And you can see even the logos that they paint backwards on the windows above them. That's all set dressing.
Yeah, it's all set dressing. And okay, but I will say though, kudos to the people because those booths are amazing.
Yeah.
They are like
really
the vacuum
looks like a 70s,
It's a 70s. I mean, seriously, it looks absolutely perfect. I even love the cars in the background. We've got all different types of makes and models, years and stuff. Okay, I love this because I didn't think it was the same location, but I love those booths. Those are amazing.
I love the juxtaposition of ordinary and extraordinary, and extraordinary and ordinary. And that's what's great about this is you have the super secret spy who had his eye gouged out by an alien cat who is sitting talking to spoiler alert for I don't know what. I won't tell you where it is, but you'll have to find out. Right. Sitting next to a man in a multi-million-dollar suit of armor, and they're both sharing donuts and coffee. I love this. And just that look of them sitting in this really probably run down restaurant. Like I'm not saying Randy's Donuts and nothing but love, but wherever this was probably was not the nicest place in the world, and they redressed it to look that way.
No, not at all.
But it was the same kind of thing. Like if you had Jane Foster in Asgard is interesting. or Thor in Oklahoma is interesting. It's the opposite thing. So I love this. He's in this huge armor full of repulsors and micro missiles and heads up displays, and they're just chilling, drinking coffee, eating donuts.
Well, no, and I love
so great.
And coming back to this movie, which I've said obviously I really enjoy this movie. I didn't realize how awesome this sequence is. Because again, I gushed so much about the pull-out shot, right, where he's in the donut. Mm-hmm. You're right. I mean, this image it makes me smile ear to ear. And I love too, since we're thinking, okay, this is older Stark technology in terms of the Iron Man suit. The helmet. I love how the helmet plays a role because the helmet, because it can't just collapse in and of itself, right? I love the fact that it's kind of like his lunchbox or his hard hat. Like he's a construction worker.
Yeah, they're like on a break. And so they're just like sets it down. And
I love that. I mean, I've never loved it as much as I've noticed it this time. Like it just looks amazing. Like I think this is great.
This is one thing I will give Jon Favreau. Like obviously I've taken some shots this movie, and I will still as we go on. But I really like him and Matthew working together. They shoot so beautifully. Like the colors in this just pop. This is like, and if we in like 2090 when we get to Infinity War and stuff too, this is my major complaint with the Russos is the muted colors. Like these are giant superheroes, and yet they put like a gray filter over everything. Right. It's like I I can't tell you how many times I've watched the end of Endgame. And that's one of my go-to comfort foods when I'm feeling down about the world and everything. I watch that stuff, but I'm like, I wish that, like, why isn't Cap's suit blue? Why isn't Iron Man gleaming? Like, I mean, it's the colors don't pop. They go for this very muted tone. I don't like this, but Favreau doesn't, and that's what makes it so great. Is like the orange and the light coming in, and Sam Jackson's, like that the dark leather coat and everything. I mean, there's such great color scheme going on in here. I just love it. I only wish the scene matched up to the visuals.
Well, we're gonna have a problem in the next minute. Spoiler.
Yeah, next couple minutes it certainly comes down.
We won't get into that just yet. Just enjoy
we got
this
plenty
right
of stuff
now.
to talk about, but yeah, so like I'm just enjoying what I like right now.
And I like
because the dialogue is not going to be the best.
Well,
from here
there's a visual part that I'm going to really have a problem with next minute.
Yeah,
but anyway,
me too.
So, but the only thing on this is okay. And actually, this comes to the end of the minute. I mean, obviously, their initial conversation which is kind of awkward, where Tony's like, do I, Nick's got the funny comment about, secret boy band.
No, Tony says, I told you I don't want to join your super secret boy band.
Gotcha.
Which I'm like, that's a good line. And also the fact that like, it is a boy band because at the point there's no girls.
You're right. No, and that's cool. And then he does do this awkward thing of, do I look at the patch or do I look at the eye? Right.
Yeah.
Which is insulting.
I do like though that like Fury doesn't, first of all, I love Sam Jackson as Nick Fury. He's a little different here than he will be later on.
Oh yeah.
But at this point, he doesn't take like he basically just like okay, like that's, you want to play it like that? And he goes, no. See, I remember you do everything yourself. How's that working out for you?
Exactly.
I love that. Boom! Like, and that's a body shot because Tony goes, it's, and then because she's like spinning like, oh wow, you totally nailed me with that one. Like he really, and then that's when he brings up like, oh well, I'm Tony Stark, so I'm going to hit you with I'm going to get you with a personal insult. I don't want to get off on the wrong foot. Do I look at the patch or the eye? Like, I don't have a response to what you just said, so I'm going to casually insult you.
Well, and it's the difference here is I think what you're really seeing in this scene, at least in this moment, is two different kinds of confidence. Yeah. Confidence that is true and based in I'm 5 steps ahead. Yeah. Nick Fury. Yeah. And Tony Stark's, which is I'm actually compromised, and right now I'm faking it. I'm just trying to make you think that I'm in complete control because I'm not. And I love that. I mean, I think I really love just how the scene works up until this moment. Mm-hmm. Because it's wonderful. I mean, again, and putting that type of conversation between these two confident heroes in this surreal environment just works. It just works really well. The only negative thing I would put on this is, and I have mentioned this before, when you're doing the full practical effects suit, there are issues. And one of these right now in this issue is that when he is seated, he's got the big shoulder pads issue where, the suit has now come up on his shoulders and everything. And it's it's fine. And
as someone who's spent many, many times in booths of that size, and even when a couple of years where I worked at Dairy Queen and it had small booths, there's no way that he would be able to fit inside that booth.
No,
there's no chance.
Jesus, I know that. Yeah, that's true. That's not happening. Yeah. No, but that's it. We get another nice shot of the glasses too. We can see that they're kind of like they're Tony Stark inspired Ray-Bans, looks like, which is neat. But yeah, just this banter and everything. I just love it. I just hope it gets better in the next minute. Will it get better? Oh, well, if you're fans of giant donuts and sumptuous color palettes, there's a great place for you, and it's called Instagram. Yes, we are on Instagram at The Next Reel. We are doing our part to contribute to the gorgeous, luscious colors and wonderful scenic details that are to be found on Instagram. And sometimes we just put up clips of us being really ridiculous about movies. But, that's part of what Instagram is for, right? You can follow us at The Next Reel. We're happy to entertain you in every medium that we can possibly find. Be back here for minute 63 as we continue Fury and Stark's coffee clutch. We'll have a fascinating conversation, and maybe they'll get into some real deep stuff and start confessing their emotions. No, they won't.
quote.
But you don't want to miss it. Enough said.
Bye.